What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching. I appreciate your appreciation of my rambles, my rants, and I am eternally grateful for you guys for tuning in and listening to my bullshit, my abstractions and generalizations about the world. So, we got some bullshit for you guys here today. Simulation theory and reincarnation coming together, the clash of the titans, right? Ali versus Tyson, or let's say the unification of Ali and Tyson as friends rather than fighters. And there's a beautiful interview of them, and they've always loved, admire each other. And reincarnation and simulation theory is going to be actually portrayed in this video from my limited understanding of both. You know, who am I? I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a moron. My limited understanding of both, I'm gonna try and actually portray them as a unification. And here's where a lot of this stuff comes from. There is a scientist named Thomas Campbell, I think. And yeah, that's his name. You can look him up on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel. Wonderful guy. He worked with NASA before, to give you his credentials, right? He's a legit scientist. He worked with NASA and he worked with the United States government. He's a digital physicist. And he is somebody that needs a lot more fucking attention. He is someone who has a serious message to deliver to the masses. And he needs to get a lot more attention. He's a straight up scientist. Graduated from, I don't know which university, but a prestigious university. Worked with the US government, worked with NASA. It's good to have these credentials because you need people to trust you in the society, right? If that matters. But, you know, he even says that, you know, science has kind of become the religion of the West and we need scientists. They're sort of the priests now. So it's good that he's a scientist. But he also... And he's a digital physicist, so he's really deeply involved with this simulation theory concept. And he has a book called My Big Theory on Everything. Really interesting book. I have the audiobook. I only listened to the first third of it, but I plan to re-listen to it again, the whole thing. And tries to explain the nature of reality and that we're inside a simulation and the simulation. So basically, we're inside a digital thing. It's a digital simulation. That is really at the core of it, just bits of zeros and ones coming together to create perception, and we perceive it with our nervous system. So we're also digital. This is the avatar. We're digital beings. This is the avatar, and we're having this experience. And, you know, simulation theory is going around now. Like, you get a guy like Elon Musk, he's convinced of it, pretty much. He's convinced of it. Like he said, we're living inside a simulation. And many other scientists, and one of them is Thomas Campbell. There's Bruce Lipton. Thomas Campbell, I want to focus on his work. He's also done a lot of work with the Monroe Institution. Anybody who never heard of this Monroe Institution, they do a lot of paranormal stuff. Like they do like astral projection and remote viewing, which is, you know, you can see things just by closing your eyes and going into the state. You can see other beings doing things, you know, and so some people who were part of the Monroe Institution worked with the US government to solve some crimes and some things, right? So this is real shit. Like, this is all underground, but it's real shit. So he was involved with the Monroe Institution. So he's gone a little bit into the meditation, spiritual, consciousness side of it, but he's also got the scientific backing. And he sort of combines both worlds together. Says, we live inside a simulation. This is a computer program. It's kind of like The Sims, except for it's programmed to evolve. This is the program. It's programmed within the variables of this simulation that we're in. It's programmed to evolve. And you can see this everywhere. Nature is programmed to evolve. Everything is evolution. Evolution. How can we make something better? And so his concept, in the same way, the consciousness that is inside a human thing is trying to evolve its state of consciousness as well. And we are trying to evolve into love. What he describes as love, and he uses the word often, many times, he says it's low state of entropy. The more we can get things to be united again, entropy, high state of entropy, things are chaotic and it's all over the place. His definition of love is low state of entropy, more unification, more harmony, right? And you can think of walking into a beautiful garden, and there's harmony there, there's love there, right? Harmony. So his idea is like, the consciousness of the human being, the soul, if you will, is here to evolve its state of consciousness from whatever it is now into love. And it's our collective mission as a species to evolve our state of consciousness into love. And his explanation of reincarnation from simulation theory standpoint is because, this is an avatar, this is digital, it's all really non-physical at the heart of it. It's just, it's code that we perceive. Just like if you are a Sims character, experiencing whatever the sim world is, except for this is a more sophisticated virtual reality, a more sophisticated video game where things appear to be real, and you can't fucking tell me otherwise or tell anybody else. They appear to be real. So to the subjective experience, they're real. To my subjective experience, my face is real. However, it's all digital. It's all simulation. Magnificent, wonderful simulation. And the way he describes reincarnation is your consciousness chooses, and again, this is my favorite way to think of it, is like there's a main lobby. This is where we go after we die, and then we kind of go into different levels. And maybe that's where the DMT takes people. So his explanation of reincarnation from that standpoint of simulation theory is your consciousness retreats from the body, goes into the main lobby. I'm describing it in my own words now, but goes into a different reality, a different dimension. That's all it is. It's just like, you're switching on from playing The Sims to playing something else. Simple as that. When you die, you switch the games. You go into a different reality, different part of the consciousness. Look at consciousness as the whole thing, the computer, your PS4, and then each game is the game on the PS4. So there's consciousness, that's the PS4, and then there's the games. Earth is one game. And then once you're out of Earth, you go out of Earth, back into the main lobby, right? You're still in a different game, in a different lobby, whatever it is. And then you can maybe get to pick another character and then go into the game again, play the game again as a different character. And this description of this really, I've listened to a book called Many Souls, Many Journeys or something by Dr. Michael Newton. And it's all about reincarnation, right? He's a past life regression. He hypnotizes people and gets them to get in touch with their past lives, right? There's a lot of solid evidence for reincarnation. Look into Dr. Ian Stevenson's work. He was a very scientific man, and he never even used any woo-woo language. And there's a lot of evidence that supports reincarnation. Okay, a lot of evidence out there. So from the standpoint of simulation theory, this is the case. It's like you're exiting one game, back to another game, another lobby, another place within the consciousness, which is the PS4. You're still within the PS4, just in maybe the main lobby. You know how you go in the main lobby and you change games, right? Or you change the CD, or you change something. This is the main lobby. You're still in consciousness. And then you're like, oh, all right, how was that game? What did I learn from it? Did I evolve my state of consciousness? What are the lessons I learned? Do I need to learn other lessons? Probably. Always, right? So let me go back. Let me pick a different character in a different part of the map, right? And let me now experience. You set your soul mission, your consciousness mission, right? They call it soul, life purpose, soul purpose. And you say, okay, my purpose, what I want to do in this life is I want to learn how to be maybe less selfish, or I need to learn how to be more loving, or I need to learn how to be stronger, or I need to learn how to be more caring, or whatever. You set your intentions, and you're like, okay, I picked that previous character. Let me try a different character. Maybe in your latest spawn, you picked a woman in, I don't know, in like India, and you said, well, I have these lessons and I need to learn. I want to raise a family, and I want to learn how to love, blah blah. And then you kind of have that incarnation, and then as always, there's always more shit to learn. So you're like, okay, you come out back to the main lobby, and you're like, okay, let me try like 6'5" muscular man born in the United States. Let me see how that goes. Maybe you go off to the army, you learn compassion with your friends, and maybe you're there, you're like, what am I doing? I'm killing other people. And then you try to develop compassion for other people. Maybe one day you put out your arms, you say, I don't want to kill people anymore. And there's your lesson, right? So that's his way of explaining it. Of course, Thomas Campbell, please, I am sorry. I am such an idiot trying to explain this. And I'm explaining it in my own words, not in his own words. He goes onto it much deeper and from a much more scientific perspective too. And I am starting to see this trend now. There's another doctor, Dr. Bruce Lipton, another straight up scientist guy, links consciousness and reincarnation and all of that with biology. He's a biologist, right? And they have this beautiful interview. It's like an hour and a half. Bruce Lipton and Thomas Campbell. Oh, blew my mind. Listen to it at least 10 times. Still blows my mind every time. 60% of the time, it blows my mind every time. And they both talk about it, one from a biology standpoint and one from a digital physics standpoint and quantum physics standpoint. And they talk about it and they bridge both worlds. And you come to realize, it's all the same thing. Science, spirituality, religion. They're all trying to figure out the same truth. Which you come down to it is oneness. Like even science is figuring out through quantum physics that, everything's connected and individuality is an illusion and really, really, really trippy shit. And you realize that's what religions have been trying to do, except for most of these big religions that we have right now have been hijacked by power-hungry people and they used to control the masses. But really the essence of each religion, major religion or minor, usually is the same thing. It's like, we're all one. Love is the answer. Be kind to your neighbors. Be kind to the people around you. You're here to learn. You're here to become more loving, right? And that's what Jesus is all about. That's what Christ consciousness is. Christ consciousness is unconditional love. As Uncle Tony would say, Jesus was just a guy smoking dope and preaching love. That's what Jesus was. And really, that's what it is. And science, through truth, through objective analysis, through inquiry, analytical inquiry, is trying to get to the same conclusion. Except for because of the way its methods are rigorous, and I think that's the result of so much superstition, religious superstition. So science was sort of a backlash to that, saying, okay, you guys fucked up. Somebody fucked up there, with the church and everything, and the control and everything like that, and the scandals, blah, blah. Like, okay, we need to prove things objectively here. And so we have the materialism that we have today, the scientific dogma, which is, it's there, right? You only prove it like this, which I understand because of the superstition of the church and the superstition of the religious superstition that wasn't based on experience. The church and all these institutions were just telling people, do this, do that, give us your money. The people, and you're gonna go to heaven. The people didn't even have an experience of God. You see, so science came as a backlash, said, no, all of that's bullshit. We need to prove things objectively, tangibly, which was a very good, at the time, I would have been down. I would like, fuck these fanatics, religious fanatics, and bullshit. Let's prove it here. Now the problem is, you can get dogmatic in that because there are certain things that just you can have to experience. And God and oneness and truth and love is a feeling. It's an experience, right? But what I'm seeing, the trend that I'm seeing now with the new wave of scientists that are trying to bridge the world of consciousness and spirituality and non-physical with the world of the tangible material thing, there are scientists out there and they're speaking and they need to have more attention. Bruce Lipton, Thomas Campbell come to mind, but there are many other scientists right now. There's a trend. I think we will be able within the next 50, 100 years, maybe even less than 50, to really, really bridge those two worlds and come to realize we're all talking about the same thing, guys. Let's all do what Jesus did, smoke some dope and preach love, and love one another, love each other. And that's really the purpose of life. That is the purpose of life. That is what we are here to do. We keep coming back here. We keep popping in from one diamond, from one character to another character, from one pussy to another pussy, sliding into it. We keep doing that because we need to learn the lesson, which is evolve into love. And we have to do it collectively. It's not enough for you to come and do it yourself. We have to do it collectively. We have to rise above the limitations of separation created by the mind and get back into the experience, into the being, and love. Realize you are love, your loving awareness, and let your actions come from this loving place, this deep loving place that you are, that's the truth of you. And who knows, maybe we won't have to come back here anymore. We can go play a different game. I like Earth game. It's fucking sick. I love the trees. I love the plants. It's cool, man. It's cool. I like the way humans look. I like especially females. I love females. I love the way they look. It's cool. It's cool. I like Earth. I wouldn't mind coming back over and over. But maybe just let's get our shit together, guys, collectively. Finish up here. Create heaven on Earth again as this place was meant to be, a Garden of Eden, and let's get the fuck out of here. I'm sure there are other beautiful games out there. We can't be stuck in this cycle of reincarnation. Guys, let's create heaven on earth and let's go. There are probably so many different other games that we're missing out on. I want to go to this. See that? The Super Saiyan universe? I want to go play that game. And I want to incarnate there. And I want to learn the lessons there. But I know I'm stuck here until I do my part. And to do my part, you guys all together have to do our parts, right? So, that was a very fucking bullshitty hippie rant that is, again, butchering the ideas of Thomas Campbell and Bruce Lipton. So I apologize for these two beautiful, wonderful beings that are trying to spread wisdom, spread love, spread awareness. And I guess I tried with my everyday language to spread it to you guys. Maybe you guys can go do more research and get it figured out in your own head and spread it in your own way. God bless you all. I love every single one of you guys. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.